Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. And we have today the final of the NCAA Early Season Tournaments California Invitational. So let's see what all this is about. Let's go ahead and play this match. So I'm still pretty new here. When we're talking about making changes to the team, I'm like, all right, let's make changes to the team. I'm having a real hard time figuring out for the moment who is who. We have two players who are still on holiday. This was a little bit strange. We had two of these players who played one match, and then the game told me that they were too tired and should go on holiday. So that's what we've done. I hope I'm not coming down too harshly on this, but this is one of the reasons why there are problems with this database, right? Because I can't go hire and purchase a whole ton of extra players, which is a problem when we have to play 15-year-olds who get really tired after one match. So we're going to go ahead and submit this team, and I guess we have a number of new numbers to hand out, and we've done so. Let's see what happens. We're taking on Kansas State, and for the California Invitational, this is not exactly a matchup made in heaven, but we'll go for it. Apparently, it's big enough for us to have. They were claiming we would have a sellout, and I'm looking up in the stands here. I can't tell if there are a bunch of empty seats up there or not. It looks like there are whole rows here of empty seats. We'll see what comes of it. This is supposed to be a stadium that seats 70,000. No, they're not empty. They're all purple. Hard to tell. A couple of empty seats in here and there, though, so it doesn't look like it's a sellout, but I might be wrong. Let's see how we do. This, by the way, is on this channel the largest in-game audience I've played against. As you can tell from the stuttering, I haven't taken away these stupid video ad boards yet. I hate the fact that I have to remember to do that every time the game updates. Chavez takes that ball away from Kansas State for us. He passes to Daly. He looks forward for Silvas over to Daly. Daly is going to have to find our big striker here, and there is the cross, and it's Garcia with the shot from the back. Aldana was in a fairly good position, but he was tightly covered. And this is one of the problems that we have, which is that if they key Aldana, we have a problem. Williams takes this forward, passes backwards to Silvas. Silvas up to Garcia. Garcia takes another shot from range, and nothing happens. That's exactly what the problem is, right? We get the ball over to Garcia, and he can't shoot. He can't even get the shot close when it's from sort of point-blank range like that. Aldana is the only person that we have who is really capable of scoring a goal. Alpha Doe knocks that one with his head over to Chavez, over to Martin, and is back with Garcia, then to Silvas. Silvas finds Aldana, passes to Roca, over to Daly. Daly forward, finds Aldana. That's a goal. That's a goal. We knew that was going to go in even before that pass finished up, and that was pretty clearly a goal. It's a good movement by BYU. Good job by Aldana to beat the heavy defensive pressure he's been under. You can see this. There's that pass backwards, and Daly just sort of lumps this one forward. He knows that Aldana is faster than everybody else. He knocks that one. Actually, Burns kind of gets like part of his face onto that, I guess, but that ball went into the goal anyway. Daly is absolutely tired as can be, and as I said before, this is part of the problem that we have. We don't have enough players. It's going to be a long season. This is a knock forward. It's Alpha Doe getting onto this, over to Silvas and to Chavez. He's stripped of it, knocks it back to Chris Gallagher. Gallagher now will take this one up slowly, looks forward, passes to Silvas. Silvas finds Martin, over to Garcia, pass it over to Aldana. There you go. There's goal number 2. That's onside. That should be onside, but we'll see if Jorge was offside there or not. I'm pretty sure that he was onside, and that goal has been disallowed. Looks like he was offside. Let's see if we can see a replay here. There's that pass by Martin over there, and he was about a step maybe offside. It was really Aldana who was offside, but he wasn't part of that side of the play. You can see again that stuttering, and as I said, that's because of the graphics, the moving graphics here as part of the game. I really honestly need to replace this computer, which is frustrating for those of us who purchased the expensive iMac in 2019. That wasn't that long ago. It's Korn with it now, over to Williams as we set this up again, and he has it up forward to Martin, back to Williams. Williams passes over to Alpha Doe to Silvas, and he finds Aldana once again. And unfortunately for us, the goalkeeper Burns is there to make the save, but that's just the way that every one of these offensive attacks is. We just sort of lump it forward for Aldana, let him do it one-on-one. There's a corner that finds absolutely nobody, and we do a pretty poor job of keeping it in. That one's sort of knocked back quickly. And we'll go back and we'll see really quickly this highlight. And I mean, yeah, it's just Silva's just lumps it forward. Aldana then gets a first touch, nice first touch, sets himself up and gets a good shot on goal. Does everything that he needed to do and does it very, very well. So no complaints from me on that one. We're going to have to do a number of substitutions here, unfortunately, and we'll see if some of these other kids that we have on the bench can do much, because we have a number of very, very tired players. Here at halftime, it's going to be BYU 1, Kansas State nothing unless they score, and Korn is able to knock that one out. That free kick was shot on goal, yeah, but didn't quite have enough on it. BYU with the 1-0 lead here. We're not really dominating them, I'd say, but we're doing okay. We are controlling possession. That's kind of what we need to be doing at this moment, but what we really need to do is we need to take some of these guys off. So let's see. We'll take Williams off. We'll probably have to put like McNellis on. We'll have to take Alpha Doe off. We'll probably put Jimenez on. So we're really losing a lot in terms of actual ability by doing this. Daryl Daly, who's a star, is going to have to come off, unfortunately, and we're going to put this kid, Sydney Amutenya, on and see how he can do. And finally, Chavez is broken, so we put Glenn Cook on, who also can barely play in that position. And I mean, you have that half of a star of like youth ability. It means that you know where the position is. You kind of have an idea of what you need to do. That's almost intercepted, and it is intercepted in the end by Aldana and passes over to Cook. That's the end of that highlight, which is, of course, not a great sign. Daly apparently is carrying an injury. I didn't see anything that noted that, but maybe you saw it and I didn't. So here we go. We will now move forward and see where the next highlight comes in. And now it's a throw for Kansas State. Lepore over to Shoemaker, down to Smith, over to Spencer. And Spencer takes this one forward, and we let him lump this one forward over to the right side. And they find Onoja, who takes a shot from range. And I mean, I don't think that his play was necessarily as excellent as the text below was saying. It did deserve a better finish, but I think it deserved a lot of better middle as well. Cook with the ball now. Cook looks forward and passes it to himself and then knocks it back to Chris Gallagher. Gallagher takes this one forward, walks with it, looking for a pass over to Silvas to Martin. Martin back to Silvas, goes to Martin again. He loops it forward to Aldana, who scores, but he's got to be offside. That one I think is pretty obvious. We'll see what happens. We'll see if they allow this or not, but I mean, he was offside. Yeah, that's disallowed. He was offside by about a yard. We'll take a look at the replay. Not really much sense in replaying this. I mean, like I said, it's at least a yard offside, and I mean, it's a good shot. It's a good finish, and I bet it felt good. But yeah, that's not playing fair. Cook with the ball now over to Amutenya. Amutenya knocks it forward to Martin, and that is intercepted before it gets to him. Let's see if we can get the ball off of them here. And instead, we're going to let them have the entire left side of the pitch. It's Lee Ka-ho, who's a Cantonese name, and he passes that over to Noja, who scores the goal. And you knew that was going to happen. And now we have a problem. We have to figure out what it is that we're going to do. So we're going to take a look first at the replay, and then we're going to do some shouting. I thought that our 3-defender setup would prevent this from happening, but instead we had a defender here in the middle who was Jimenez, who was completely out of position. And so that's what happens. Let's demand some more. See if we can actually pull this one out of the fire. Everybody, of course, is completely tired, which is the problem that you have when you have so few players on the bench. I think we can make one more substitution, and let's see who we can get off. I mean, a lot of really, really poor games here. Garcia is playing really, really poorly, so we'll put Benitez on for him. And I think that will be our final allowed substitution. So let's see what happens. Benitez is nervous in his debut, so let's see how he does. Now, Robbie McNellis now is injured, and I mean, it's not going to let me put anyone else on. So we're unfortunately going to have to cancel and just keep playing. Okay, what has happened here? Okay, I'm not quite sure what the game's trying to make me do. I think that we have to tell him to come off. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this again. All right. I'm trying to remember exactly how to do this. Just a second. I'm going to pause this for a second while I figure this out. All right. Sorry about that. I had to Google this. Yeah, you right click on the position here and then you click on take off. That'll take him off. Thank you, Sports Interactive. I'm glad that you made that so easy to find. It took me about 5 minutes to click around before I finally figured that stupid thing out. All right. Now we've taken the guy off the pitch, so we're down to 10 men. And have I told you that I'm not very happy with this editor data file? Well, I'm not. Gallagher over to Cook, over to Rocha, over to our guy whose name I can't say. And there's Aldana with the shot, and that one, unfortunately for us, is saved. And we have a chance at a corner here. We're going to wind up going to extra time, aren't we? Silvas is going to take this corner, knocks this one forward, looking for Gallagher, and unfortunately that is headed out. And we're kind of running after the ball here behind everybody, and this is going to stop things quickly. And it's Marquise with the ball here for Kansas State, and he has a little bit of a shot that's deflected, and that was kind of a poor play by him. I mean, he was in good crossing position. I'm not quite sure why he wasn't able to have anything happen. You can see that Cook is injured as well. I mean, it was a good pass over there to Aldana, but unfortunately, there was not much that he was able to do to try to score the goal. Cook now this time over to Rocha, over to Cookie into Silvas, and Cook rather is stripped of the ball, and they have almost a shot. I'm not sure what happened there. Who was that on our side who sort of stopped that one and had set it up as if he's setting up on a tee for the Kansas State attacker? The corner comes up, and we're able sort of to clear it, and now it's with Gallagher, who just sort of lumps this one forward to Aldana, who was fouled, and that gives us a free kick. So let's see if we can figure out what happened here again. It was Ibanez who passed this over to Ortuzal, and Silvas had it there, and he just sticks it in Ortuzal's like right in front of him. I'm not sure exactly what he was doing. Gallagher passes this up to Cook, back to Gallagher. That was pretty bizarre play. Gallagher had, I think, a guy open, but instead passes it all the way back to Korn. I'm not quite sure what he's thinking. Over to Jimenez now. Jimenez to Silvas, back to Jimenez, and this is ridiculous defending by Kansas State. And Gallagher is going to end up with this ball again over to Cook. Cook lumps this forward looking for Aldana, and it ends up with Silvas again over to Benitez. Benitez lumps this one forward to Martin, who doesn't know where he's going. Martin back to Benitez, and he knocks it back to Rocha, over to Silvas, over to Aldana, who ends up falling down instead of making the shot. And now they've got a counterattack. We've really got to watch out here because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and there's not that many of us. And fortunately for us, Ibanez takes a shot, and it's a shot from a very poor angle. And so we're able to just stay alive in this one. The corner is knocked back for another corner. There's no highlight after that. Really, really poor match by just about everybody on our squad here. And I don't really blame them, though, for all the matches we've had to play one after another when we don't have enough players for a full squad. Benitez is able to get onto this one. He's just going to lump this one forward, and this is going to be the end of full time. And we're really seeing the game having some struggles here. I'm going to have to make sure we make those changes. We're on the lowest possible graphical setting, if you have been curious, and we do have extra time, which is what we feared. We've been playing with 10 men now for about 20 minutes. Silvas with his back to Gallagher, and of course the guy who we've taken off is a defender, so I'm not sure what exactly we're going to do. Jimenez takes this one up and forward and ends up doing nothing. Yeah, let's see what happens. It's Lepore here who takes this free kick over to Ortuzal, who has nobody there, of course, to defend him. Korn ends up grabbing this. Now, I think that this is some sort of golden goal rule, if I remember right from what was written on the Sports Interactive editor hideaway forums. So I think whoever scores this first ends up winning, which is another unpopular thing. There's a lot of unpopular things here in this editor data file. Ortuzal had that free kick from close range, and that went over everybody. Now Benitez with the throw over to Silvas. Silvas is faking left and right, doesn't know where he's going. Then he passes it to Benitez, who's looking for Aldana, and that one ends up back with the goalie for a goal kick, but we're able to go back and get it, despite the fact that we only have 2 defenders. Gallagher now forward to Aldana, over to Martin, over to Silvas on the side of Benitez, over to Aldana, who scores the goal. Now we get to see, first of all, if he was onside, and second of all, if that's the end of the match. So it looks like that is probably offside. That is called for offside, and that's another one that Aldana has had taken back, which let's take a look. Oh, yeah, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that Benitez is that far offside. Aldana might have been offside too by maybe, a foot or two, but Benitez was way offside. It was a good call by the referee. Ortuzal now looks forward and able to find our defender napping. And, I mean, they just have I'm surprised that Kansas State is not going to attacking or very attacking because we have such a big hole there in the back. There's nobody there to protect. The corner comes up and is knocked backwards, and the game glitches once again. Gallagher is able to knock this one forward, and it's Cook who has it, and Cook will take it up a little slowly over to Amutenaya, and he knocks just a lumping pass over to our striker, and it's with Benitez now, who knocks it back over to Aldana, and Aldana heads that one in, and that one should be good. And now we get to see if that ends up being the end of the match or not. And boy, we have all sorts of crazy stuff happening, glitching all over the place, injured players on the pitch, guys who are having extremely poor matches and stuff. And yet we're still ahead 2-1. That was a great cross, and Aldana is the only player in our club who can score. He's really the only player I think who matters at this point. He's got the captain's armband on, and so it's not a golden goal situation. We actually continue playing. We'll play the second half here of extra time and sort of see what happens here. Roca now with this free kick, and he takes a shot, and that goes in. Hey, Jim Roca is the first non-Aldana player who has scored a goal for us in this entire season. It's 3-1 BYU. And I'm amazed there's so many Kansas State fans here, considering how far away that is from, where are we? We're down in Inglewood, California. So go figure. I guess nobody wanted to come attend any of the games leading up to this one, but once we get to the big one, everyone's here. Big crowd, and here's Bowman Pierce, who's got to score that one, and that ends up, fortunately for us, being saved. But, I mean, he really had to score, didn't he? Ibanez over to Velasco is how it worked, and then it was, I think it says Bowman Pierce, yep, and he has a shot straight on goal. Can't quite lump it past the keeper, though, and that ends up being nothing but a save and a corner that goes nowhere. Gallagher over to Cook, down to Silvas, back to Cook. Cook knocks this one over to Amutenaya. Amutenaya now with it and is double teamed and doesn't really know where he's going with it, if he's going forward or back. Cook with it now over to Benitez. Benitez takes this one forward. He does a little bit of trickery over to Martin now, over back to Silvas. Silvas finds Benitez, and Benitez lumps this one forward looking for Roca. Can't quite find him, and this is taken back by Kansas State. And they're going to find Bowman Pierce again, who's got 4 men he can cross it to. Cross it over to Marquis, who just shoots at Korn, and we make the save. So go figure. I'm not sure how this keeps happening. Aldana now with the ball. Aldana lumps a little bit of a crossover to Benitez, who heads that one, and he's really got to do better with that. He's got to bring that one down. I mean, he's got a great angle standing right in front of the goalkeeper. Gallagher now with the free kick over to Amutenaya. Back to Gallagher. Gallagher lumps this one backwards to Korn, so I guess we'll go ahead and set this up again. It goes over to, well, it's kind of intercepted there. Silva's not able to get head onto it, and now we need to go backwards as defense, and Gallagher fortunately is there, and he does the smart thing by pulling it down instead of just knocking it backwards. Aldana now with it over to Amutenaya. Amutenaya knocks that pass backwards, finds Gallagher. Gallagher lumps it forward looking for Martin, who just sort of stands there like... stands there like he doesn't know what's going on, doesn't know what game he's playing. It's Bowman Pierce with this in a clear scoring position, and there's Marquis with the goal, and that was obviously going to happen. And boy, they have a chance to get back into this one, don't they? 3-2 now with about 4 minutes of the extra time, or the extra period left. Not counting extra time, and we really have a problem. We have a problem when they learn that there are only 2 defenders back there. When they finally realize that, we're going to have a pretty big problem. Jimenez over to Silva, Silva's to Martin, Martin up to Benitez, and Benitez finds Aldana. No, he doesn't. Aldana stops running, and that was a foolish decision by Aldana, who really had the angle there if he kept going. It's the corner, and Silvas is going to take this one, knocks this one forward in a second, I guess. There he goes. Now he knocks it forward, and he finds Gallagher. And we do need to actually make some changes, I think, to this corner routine. I haven't done anything corner-wise. I'm just sort of playing with this straight out of the box, just sort of seeing what happens. Amutenaya ends up taking the yellow card here, I think. Yes, there it is. That was a good foul. So Sydney gets the yellow card and runs backwards. And let's see if he gets a head on it. No, it's Jimenez who gets the head on it. And that shot from range ends up being nothing, and it's back for a goal kick. Only 1 minute of added time. Silvas now with the corner. We're going to win this match. We're going to win this tournament. And this one's lumped backwards, but it doesn't matter. It's too late, and that is the end of it. And BYU has won. and we can enjoy one of these trophy presentation moments. I mean, this has been the third match of the season for us. I guess this is technically the preseason. We could refer to this as a preseason friendly if we really wanted to, but it kind of counts. It counts for something. It counts for enough for us to get this trophy. So again, like I said, it's kind of a strange setup. I don't fully understand why things are set up the way that they are. I'm guessing that this is supposed to represent what happens at college basketball at the beginning of every season, where you have tournaments around the country. I mean, which is an idea, but man, if you need me to have enough players to be able to play, 2 matches a week for like the whole season, I need to be able to do some transfers, man. I mean, geez, I have to play under 19 games as well. It's no wonder these players are tired and getting injured left and right. So, like I said at the start of this, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see how long we stick with this. We'll see how much of sort of a leash we give it. But as far as I can say right now, as interesting as it is and as cool as it is to play with the logos and stuff like that, I've not been very impressed with this editor data file. So let me know what you think down below. BYU wins again despite having a worse XG than the opposition. We somehow dominated possession but didn't do very much with it, and that's how it's going to be. I'll see you tomorrow with another game. Bye.